Companies have to start in managing for stakeholders, not ironically with stakeholders. They have to start by thinking about their purpose. They have to start by asking the question, why are we here? What are we trying to do? What do we stand for? What kind of company do we want to be? Which stakeholders do we want to create value for? What's our underlying value creation model? Now, I've observed a number of kinds of purpose, or as I like to call this, enterprise strategy. A strategy for the enterprise as a whole. And then we can talk about stakeholder by stakeholder. But if you think about enterprise as a whole, one strategy might be to pick 2 or 3 stakeholders and really try to create value for those. Many companies have what I would call an employee shareholder customer strategy. What they try to do is they try to have employees who are really pumped up about the company, who want to be there, who provide great service for customers, and this in turn creates value for shareholders. Right? Those kinds of companies, again, that's a sustainable strategy over time, as long as you don't make mistakes with community, as long as you don't make mistakes with suppliers. They're always there, but they don't have to be in the forefront. And so you see company after company saying, well, taking care of employees is important, so if I take care of employees, they'll take care of my customers, and I'll create value for shareholders. The interest of employees, customers, and shareholders going in the same direction here. A lot of those companies don't talk very much about community, don't talk very much about suppliers, but they manage those relationships in a different way, but not a bad way. Other companies say, no, our job is to balance or harmonize, is what I like better because I'm a musician. So I like the idea that we're going to harmonize the interest of these stakeholders. They all might be playing different notes, but the notes are going to go together in the same way. And they see, how do we get customers, suppliers, employees, communities, and people with the money going in the same direction? And that's the sort of basic idea behind creating value for stakeholders. The narrow stakeholder enterprise strategy works, but the sort of basic 5 strategy works too. There's a third strategy that I've seen, a third approach to enterprise strategy that I've seen that's very interesting. And these are companies that I've called noble cause companies. They're companies who have a purpose, and the purpose is around really making the world a better place, doing something that makes a real difference in the world. Now, we can have lots of debates about what these are. I mean, some people might think acting from the left makes the world a better place. Some might think acting from the right makes the world a better place. We can have conversations about that. But these companies are trying to make a difference in the world. It's Novo Nordisk trying to make a difference around diabetes. It's Merck and their famous case of making a difference around river blindness, where Merck would say medicines for people, not for profits. It might be companies like Whole Foods and Patagonia. And there are lots of others that are around. Simply, maybe they've come from entrepreneurs with a vision. Maybe they've come from some history of trying to make a difference in the world. But strategy for stakeholders starts with this idea of purpose. Either trying to create value for a narrow group of stakeholders, trying to create value for a broad group of stakeholders, or trying to have some purpose where values are at the center. And they can be almost any kind of values, it turns out. Once we have that, now we can say, well, this will help us understand what our business model is. And now I can think about how I deal with customers, or how I deal with employees particularly, or how I deal with suppliers. So it's enterprise first, trying to find this integrated way of thinking about stakeholders, and then specific stakeholder strategies that come after that.